Almost every building in the city on the Neva has its own mysteries. But the absolute champion in mysticism is the Mikhailovsky castle of Pauli. The palace was the emperor's life's work, but he never had time to live in it. This gave rise to many legends. The castle is located at the address Sadovaya Street, 2. The nearest metro station is Gostiny Dvor. Deep at night in the chambers of Grand Duke Pavel Petrovich knocked. Guard. Urgent. A report from the guard. A soldier with a frightened face entered the bedroom. The door shut. After a while Paul came out of there with a smile on his face, and with a trembling voice said, "I know. His will be done." It turned out that the guard had given the prince an unusual message. The Archangel Michael appeared to him during the night watch. The messenger of heaven ordered to build a new palace on the site of the old summer palace, and to name it in his honor. The case was in 1784. This is how the legend describes the emergence of Mikhailovsky Castle. Whether it is true or fiction, but in the same year the Grand Duke, the future Emperor Paul, fully delved into the project of the new building. The work lasted 12 years. Finally, in 1797, having already ascended the throne, the emperor laid the first stone in the foundation of his future castle. Paul was so eager to see his brainchild in person that he ordered the construction to be carried out day and night by the light of lanterns and torches. There were not enough materials for decoration, so the monarch had parquet, statues, paintings, and furniture brought from other palaces. In the nearby buildings he ordered to arrange stables for his guards. So the emperor was in a hurry to fulfill the command from above. Another legend tells about the unusual color of the castle walls. The story goes that at one of the balls Paul's favorite maid of honor Anna Lopukina dropped her glove. A crowd of cavaliers rushed to pick it up, but the most dexterous was the Tsar. But to give it to the lady was not in a hurry, and long and closely held in his hands. Then he ordered to give it to his chief architect as a sample of tint for the external finishing of the castle. The hue was indeed unusual, pinkish yellow-orange. It is even more unusual if the glove was of this color. After all, in the XVI century only white gloves were worn. Another legend is connected with the palace gates. It is believed that they were taken from one of the cathedrals being built in St. Petersburg. In the frieze there is an inscription, "To your house the sanctuary of the Lord is befitting for the long days," a modified quotation from a psalm of David. There is a myth that these words interested the capital's Eurodiva. People said that it was Blessed Xenia of St. Petersburg. She said, "The emperor shall live as many years as the letters in the inscription." There are exactly 47 symbols, and Paul was 47 years old when he died. It was the circumstances of the Tsar's death that gave rise to the most legends about Mikhailovsky Castle. The building was solemnly consecrated on the day of the Archangel Michael's memory in November 1800. At the same time, the emperor moved into the new chambers with a sense of accomplished duty. He began to hold balls and receptions here. However, the interior work was still in progress. The atmosphere was frightening for the guests. The room felt damp, and there was a fog from the fireplaces and candles. Many rooms were empty. There were drafts in the corridors. Only once Paul was not happy with his castle. It was March 11th. Dinner, as usual, ended at 10:30. Those present went out into another room and bade farewell to the sovereign, who at 10 o'clock in the evening was already in bed. This time he also went out into the next room, but he did not bid farewell to anyone. He only said, "What is to be, that will not pass away," called Chamberlain Prince Sergei Golitsyn. And General Alexander Langerin left another curious record. After the meal, the emperor looked at himself in the mirror, which had a flaw and made the face crooked. He laughed at it and said, "Look what a funny mirror. I see myself in it with my neck to the side." This was an hour and a half before his death. As is known, on the night of March 11th to 12th, conspirators broke into Paul's bedroom. They first stunned him with a snuff box and then strangled him with an officer's scarf. His neck was broken and unnaturally turned sideways. It turns out that the mirror did not deceive the emperor. By the way, he only had time to live in the castle for 40 days. A sacred figure for many believers. But the worst joke of fate is another. The monarch died where he was born. After all, Mikhailovsky was built on the site of the Summer Palace, where Paul was born in 1754. Mystically, the circle closed.